Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome to Evolution of Pro Wrestling. I'm Lewis, and this is Jay, and we got a terrific topic for you. That it's amazing to me of the generation in this topic that me and my son are gonna have today. So before we get into that, we got news yesterday that Roman Reigns has been pulled from WrestleMania. That was a shocker.
That was
I
a
didn't
really
think that was
shocker.
going to happen. And it just took everybody by surprise.
I mean, I can't blame the man though. He just went through something that could have been death, and he made it through. So he wants to take precaution and make sure that he doesn't get hit with this virus, since his immune system is a little weak since he went through cancer. So I personally think that was a smart move. I am sad that we won't be able to see him at WrestleMania, but I still think he played that very smart.
Well, he definitely played that smart, and also But the thing is there's speculation though, Jaden. Some people are saying that it's because of the coronavirus. Some people are saying that the Usos had something to do with that, because we also got word that the Miz has become ill. They pulled him out of the event of the original tag team match that John Morrison and the Miz was supposed to have against the Usos. And I think that was also a push that Roman didn't like. So I think that's why he probably pulled out too. But he is taking precaution due to the leukemia. And that's why Christopher Brown, welcome back, brother. We didn't see you last week. I'm glad you're back on the show. He says The Miz and Kevin Owens and Andrade, all of them are out. He's absolutely right.
Wow.
Like, many wrestlers are dropping out. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is why I think they should postpone WrestleMania. Yes, it is the biggest event in professional wrestling and all.
But still, you should take precaution, since there's a really dangerous virus going around.
Absolutely.
Like, you should take precaution.
Excuse me, if they get the go ahead, maybe in the summer, put an event together with SummerSlam, Summer Mania. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound the same, but it's something.
Right.
Yeah. But it's just an interesting thing going out there. Just, guys, always be safe. Wash your hands. Do everything. Make sure you don't
touch anything you're not supposed to. Make sure you don't touch anything. And if you do touch something, or you touch someone or close to someone that has any type of sickness, wash your hands. Make sure you wash them thoroughly.
Absolutely. Russell Jackson, welcome. You didn't really miss much, sir. We haven't started the topic yet.
Nope.
But we are about to.
Yes.
So today, many people talk about world heavyweight champions. Many people talk about tag team champions. But what about the Intercontinental Championship, Jay? Like, many champions have been out there. Many people have worn that belt. But in our opinion, we put the top 8 in this category today. And Jaden, why don't you name these superstars that are on this list?
The top 8 people in our opinions is Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, Ravishing Rick Rude, Honky Tonk Man, Greg Valentino, Shawn Michaels, and the one and only Bret Hart. We're going to be talking about those 8 guys. We're going to be talking about why they were such a good Intercontinental Champion.
Some of them as to why they never won the world title.
Why we thought they should have won the world title. And we're going to be comparing people to the people now who won these Intercontinental titles to some people that used to win the Intercontinental titles. So it's going to be a really crazy topic. I am looking forward to this topic 100%. What about you, Dad?
No, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm an old school guy. When you talk about guys like Macho Man Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect, like, these guys are excellent. They were excellent Intercontinental champions. And when you hear about that, who would have thought we would ever see Mr. Perfect as he was and never win a championship?
Yeah, never win. That's crazy.
And it's like, Christopher Brown says there's one missing from that list in his opinion. Which one do you think, Christopher Brown? And Carlos says rules. He says boo that kid. It's your buddy Carlos.
Oh, man.
You know him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see stuff like that. When you're pretty much growing up in old school. But in your opinion, Jaden, out of this entire crew, the only people that have ever made it to be a world champion was Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and the Macho Man Randy Savage. Why do you think the rest of these other superstars never won a WWE title?
I feel like they didn't win a WWE title. Macho Man, excuse me, not Macho Man. Mr. Perfect, I really have no idea why he didn't win a title. Because literally, he was the most perfect person that I ever know to wrestle inside of the ring. So I really don't understand why they didn't give him a title. The other two, I really don't have an idea. They probably didn't get a title because they probably didn't get the big push that everybody else got. So they got a push to win a title, but I don't think they got the push that they needed and the push that they wanted in order for them to win a WWE title.
Well, we got a few fans on the show that are saying that we missed one person on this list. Y2J, was a great Intercontinental champion.
I can't lie. Chris Jericho was a really good. He was a good. He was a good
excellent Intercontinental champion. But in my opinion, I don't think he would have been able to lace up the boots of the Macho Man, Ricky Dragon,
any of these people on the list,
That's just me. Not taking anything away from Y2J.
He was a good champ, but I still don't think he can match those guys.
No, absolutely not. You know what I mean? Guys, as we go on into this topic, if you're watching us now, please feel free to share our video, share our live feed. Get your fans, get your friends, your family, your brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever. Have them coming in, watching the show.
Yeah.
Have them talk wrestling with us. Whoever's a wrestling fan, bring them to the show. We'll feel free to just jump right in and ask those questions and give us your opinions. Say what you want to say on your mind. Now, Jaden.
Yep.
Do you think that a Mr. Perfect would have been able to deal with the likes of Seth Rollins as an Intercontinental champion?
Yes, I do. I feel like Seth Rollins could not do what Mr. Perfect could do because Mr. Perfect, he has more experience of being an Intercontinental champion. I'm not knocking anything from Seth Rollins, but I feel like Seth Rollins is better off more as a WWE heavyweight champion or more of like a United States champion or a tag team champion type guy because if you think about it, he didn't really win the Intercontinental title that many times. And it really shouldn't matter how many times you win the title. It's really how you should carry the title. And if you think about it, Seth Rollins didn't carry the title as good as other people did on this list or other people in general. So I think that, yes, Mr. Perfect could take on the likes of Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Now, Dad, I got a question for you.
Well, before we get into that, Jaden, we just got some comments here. Let's acknowledge everyone that's here. Michael Robinson, welcome, brother. We appreciate you watching. Your friend Irfan is watching.
What up, Irfan?
He's watching. Alvin Cloud, thank you for watching, guys. They saying Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat was an excellent champion.
Ricky Steamboat was an excellent
Christopher
champion.
Brown says, if you're going to put Perfect up against someone from today over the IC title guy, I see matching up him with Kevin Owens. That's actually not a bad match.
That's
not a bad match. Like Kevin Owens, he is a heavyweight, but he's also had the Intercontinental title. He was a great champion.
I give props to him for being a good Intercontinental title, but I gotta give it to The Miz for being an Intercontinental title winner. The Miz has won the Intercontinental title probably one of the most, almost the most.
Maybe like 6-7 times.
He's won it a lot, and he's taken care of that title. So I feel like I would like to see more of people like Mr. Perfect and people like that up against the likes of The Miz because if Miz was a really good title holder.
Okay.
So I feel like that.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think The Miz would have been able to take on Radish and Rick Rude?
Oh, man. Ooh, Radishing Rick Rude.
Even Irfan said it. That's a good match.
That's a good match, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Radishing Rick Rude, that's a legend. That's a legend.
The Miz, I'm not knocking.
Oh, Michael Robinson said The Miz and Mr. Perfect.
That's the same thing I said. Exactly. The Miz and Mr. Perfect. That would be an amazing match.
A dream match
but
right there.
I'm gonna be honest. There's two sides to this story. You already know Radishing Rick Rude is a legend, especially when it comes to title holding. The Miz, he has his ways of winning titles and stuff like that. In The Miz, when he gets the job done, he gets the job done. He holds his title like a man.
Absolutely.
He does anything to hold his title no matter what. So The Miz and Radishing Rick Rude, That would be an excellent match. I would honestly pay to see a match like that. To see a legend going up against a 6-time, or if not more, an intercontinental champion holder. I would like to see them go against each other.
No, absolutely. That's
I do feel like Ravishing Rick Rude would beat him. I just don't think he would. I just think Miz would be able to keep up with him though.
well.
I feel
Carlos
like,
says no.
of course, he.
Everyone says that's true.
He's always hating on me, man.
Carlos, he's your buddy. He's your buddy.
Always hating on me.
You're his extra cameraman. You know what I mean? So,
oh man,
but it's kind of difficult. You know, when you talk about the competitors from the '80s going into the '90s and the new millennium.
All right.
They had numerous intercontinental champions. This is just the top of our head, in our opinion.
Yeah.
But there's still champions, great intercontinental champions like Tito Santana. Tito Santana was an excellent intercontinental champion. Don Morocco, another one, excellent intercontinental champion. Right now you got Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
You had Shinsuke. That was
you have all them people,
champion.
yeah.
But I'm still old school to the heart,
of course you are.
And I think that I would have paid to see a match between Mr. Perfect and AJ Styles.
Okay, yeah, I agree. AJ Styles, the most phenomenal person in the WWE, hits you with the phenomenal forearm, the Styles Clash. Mr. Perfect, like I said earlier, he is the most perfect wrestler in the ring to ever wrestle in the WWE ring. There will never be another Mr. Perfect ever in this WWE history, but there will also never be another AJ Styles because AJ Styles is a phenomenal one.
Absolutely not.
So yes, I would absolutely love to see that. Now another match I would like to see happen, and this would blow my mind. Shawn Michaels against Seth Rollins.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to see those two go against
Shawn
each
Michaels
other.
in his prime?
Yes, against
awesome.
Seth Rollins.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to see that match happen. Seth Rollins is an amazing wrestler right now. I love his heel character, the Monday Night Messiah. Amazing. I wish he could.
Kevin, brother, long time no see, man.
I wish he could have stayed as a face because I enjoy Seth Rollins more as a face, even though his heel character is really amazing. But Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid at his prime, he was an amazing wrestler too. Once he hits you with that Sweet Chin music, there's no getting up after that.
No, absolutely.
And they both have super kicks, so that would make it a really interesting match, especially since they're both, if you want to call it, high flyers. So that would be a really interesting match.
So we got a comment, Jaden. Christopher Brown says, let me ask you this, Lewis. Given that in the 80s and 90s, the IC title was used as a stepping stone for the WWE title and the main event picture, given that the US title is also now in the picture post WCW purchase, can you still look at the IC title in the same way as you could 30 years ago and stepping stone to the main event picture and WWE or Universal title? Honestly, sir, no. I don't see that title like that anymore because you're right. You're absolutely right. See, back then, when you had the Intercontinental title, or the United States, because WWE had the Intercontinental title, WCW had the United States title. When you had those two titles, you were considered the number one contender.
Yeah, that's right. Title. You were considered the number one contender. And
that's what they don't
I would
do now.
I would hear that a lot. You would be considered the number one contender.
They don't do it because that's what made. What made it more.
The title. The Intercontinental title used to look different. It was little, and it wasn't even white. Now it's like white and all shiny and all fancy. So that's how it changed from then all the way to now because it looks different too. It hasn't even changed from the number one contender. It's just been different.
Well, you see a match that says there. Alvin Kyle says Mr. Perfect versus Randy Orton. Oh, and Padino said he likes your hair. Freaking mop on his head. Moppo. Alvin Kyle said Mr. Perfect and Randy Orton. That's a hell of a match. Randy Orton in his prime.
I like the Legend Killer. The Legend Killer Randy Orton.
Absolutely. I would definitely pay to see that match.
Absolutely.
It's like I said, it's a shame that Mr. Perfect never won that world title. He was world championship material. And it was a shame he didn't get it. I wish he could have. Ricky Steamboat won the World Heavyweight title in WCW, but not like here. It's different when you gotta see that. Now we're talking about these guys. The Honky Tonk Man. Honky Tonk Man was the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time.
Yes, he was.
Unfortunately, the way they did him, With the Ultimate Warrior beating him at 11 seconds, it wasn't.
That wasn't.
That should have
no.
never been done.
That's
God rest the
no.
Ultimate Warrior's soul. Man was
Yes.
great talent, but excuse me, it just wasn't worth it.
It wasn't.
They just tarnished the man's legacy just like that. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I feel that when we mentioned about old school, I would have liked to seen the Honky Tonk Man against Greg the Hammer Valentine. Those two heels, those are excellent heels right there. You know what I mean? Michael Robinson says Rick Rude against Randy Orton. Two tall guys, both of them, one with an RKO, one with a neck breaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
the moves are a little similar, except neck breakers are a little different. You go behind the person, and it's basically like a backwards RKO. If depending on the way you do it, it's like a backwards RKO. And the RKO, no matter how many times you say it, no matter how old Randy Orton gets, that move is one of the most deadliest finishers you'll ever see because it just happens out of nowhere. Same thing with a neck breaker; it can happen out of nowhere. Kick the person. Neck breaker, RKO out of nowhere. So that would be an amazing match, especially with two finishers like that.
No, absolutely. And when we talk about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, two other superstars, former Intercontinental champions, they went at it. They went at it when they were in wrestling for the Intercontinental title, for the World Heavyweight title. These two had a total hatred for each other.
They did.
But they were excellent superstars.
They were.
And Michael Robinson says, how about Edge against Mr. Perfect? Well, Edge was a former Intercontinental champion.
Was he?
Yeah. He was a former Intercontinental champion, and that would be a hell of a match between Edge and
Mr. Perfect.
And Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect, he defined perfect. He did everything perfect.
Yes, he did.
You know what I mean? It was just good. It was good to what he did, just the twirling of the pen and the spitting the gum out. The man was perfect for the character. He was perfect for the gimmick, and he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Macho Man, Randy Savage. We're not going to leave him out of there.
Of course not. No, Macho Man.
When he beat Tito Santana for the Intercontinental Championship, he held that title for a long time until WrestleMania 3, which by far the best match to me still at WrestleMania 3, Ricky Steamboat against the Macho Man, Randy Savage for the Intercontinental title. They were just immortalized at WrestleMania.
If you think about it, back then, the Intercontinental title was basically like a junior WWE title because everybody was gunning for it. It would make you second to the heavyweight championship. So it was basically everybody was gunning for it because it wasn't easy to get a WWE title shot. So the easiest title to get was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, so that's what everybody was gunning for. And a lot of people don't understand why the title's so special. Mm-hmm. Just like you said earlier, it was the title to determine if you're the number one contender to get a title shot at the actual WWE champion.
Exactly. And when we mentioned about getting a WWE title shot, there's one in particular that I remember that the Ultimate Warrior was the Intercontinental champion, and he fought Hulk Hogan for WrestleMania 6.
That's right.
Title
he did fight him.
Title.
Yes.
So, that's what made it.
Who won that? The Ultimate Warrior won that, right? Yes, he did.
It was a good match.
It was a good match.
Before we continue, Jada, as I mentioned, fans, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching our podcast live. If you are watching it, please feel free to share our live video on your page, in groups, wherever. Bring on your friends, your family, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, all that stuff. And
we got a comment.
We will definitely enjoy their wrestling coming in. Glad to see you both are back. Yes, Nancy, thank you.
And there's another one. Elias against Macho Man. What do you think? That's a good match.
Well, they have
actually
mentioned that
a good match.
Elias is a new version of the Macho Man. The way he dresses, the way he is. And I think I would actually pay to see that match.
That would be a good match. That would be a pretty good match. I agree. Now, Dad, I got a question for you.
Sure.
So, you know how we were just talking about the best Intercontinental champions that we like? Mm-hmm. Who do you think is the worst Intercontinental champion? Or the worst title holder for the Intercontinental champion?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's good. That's kind of hard to decide. I would have to say, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think?
I don't know how people are gonna react to this. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong. I think Dean Ambrose. I don't think Dean Ambrose was such a good intercontinental title holder. I feel like Dean Ambrose did better more as a tag team person and more as a WWE heavyweight champion. I feel like he did better alone with those titles rather than going for the Miz and getting the intercontinental champion. I like the feud that they had going on, but I feel like he wasn't good enough. Well, he was good enough. Let me reword that. I feel like they could have gave him a different title rather than the intercontinental title. So basically, that's what they're doing now. They're just giving people the intercontinental title. Like that's like, just a giveaway title. Yeah. So I feel like Dean Ambrose was one of the people to
not have held the title.
Yeah, I feel like he should have held it, but not as long as long as he did.
Well, I kind of feel the same way. I just thought about it now. I kind of feel the same way for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, exactly.
Seth Rollins, he was a part of the Shield. They went up to Stardom. He won. He was the first one ever to win heavyweight title gold, out of the Shield. Excuse me, but Intercontinental title just wasn't his
thing.
It
wasn't. No.
This battle he had back then with Dolph Ziggler when Dolph won the title, it just wasn't. And that's another thing. I didn't like Dolph Ziggler as a champion either.
No.
No.
I liked Seth Rollins when he first won the title at WrestleMania when he went against The Miz for the Intercontinental title. Yeah. That's when I liked it. But then it started getting too far when they actually started giving him the title again. I didn't like that. Like, they should have just gave that man the title once, and then they should have had him move on to the next title. Yeah. I'd rather see him as a Universal Champion, but it is what it is. They gave him the Intercontinental title. Hopefully, they start giving new people a chance to win that title, because honestly, there's a lot of people who deserve a title now in the WWE rather than just re-giving people the title because people are getting bored of seeing the same Intercontinental title over and over. So, it's time to give new people the Intercontinental title.
Now, when we mentioned this list, Jaden, there's many guys here that never really fought against each other.
Right.
There's some that have. You had Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. You had Ricky Steamboat against Macho Man, and Ricky Steamboat and Honky Tonk Man. Who do you think would have won between Shawn Michaels and Ricky Steamboat for the Intercontinental title match?
I was thinking that same thing.
People still think to this day. What if those two icons would have lock horns and went at it with each other? What would have happened if those
Ricky Steamboat is like, he's like an inside man. So like he goes for like the strike. He's like a striking man type guy. And Shawn Michaels isn't really a striking man. He's more of a what you call a high flyer. And Mr. Sweet chin music, a super kick guy. So when you compare two of those, it's kind of hard to answer because Shawn Michaels is also an icon, and you already know Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is an icon because he took on a whole bunch of greats. But I don't know. Now, are we talking about primes here?
Yeah, both of them in their
Then I gotta give it to Steamboat.
Okay.
You know what? I gotta give it to Shawn Michaels. Okay. I gotta give it to Shawn Michaels. Because I feel like Shawn Michaels at his prime, he was doing good for himself. Especially if Shawn Michaels was, heel at the time. Because Shawn Michaels played a great heel and all that stuff. So I feel like...
Well, you actually got two people that agree with you.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels.
Michael Robinson and Brian Montalvo.
Yeah,
thanks, Michaels. Brian Wicker, for joining us, man. And
I think Shawn Michaels. But why? Okay, because Shawn Michaels is one of those guys that... showstopper. One of those guys that analyzes his opponent.
Brian, you're right. He is the showstopper. He's definitely the showstopper. But look,
think about it.
You got Ricky Steamboat the man took on greats such as Ric Flair. So,
you got a point. You have a point about that.
Many other superstars. Well, Ric Flair to top it off. But
you got a point about that, but
so did Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels
exactly. He took on, So if you think about it, Shawn Michaels is one of those guys who can analyze his opponent, and you right off the back, if he sees a move, he already knows what kind of guy they are. Like just for Undertaker, for example, all those fights he had with Undertaker, John Cena, people like that. That's why he beat all of those people because, Shawn Michaels is a smart man in the ring. So you believe that Shawn Michaels is gonna be done. But Shawn Michaels will get up out of nowhere and surprise you, hit the man with a steel chair in the head and anything,
That's what they call
and he
him,
will
Mr.
get up.
WrestleMania,
Mr. WrestleMania, the showstopper,
the
icon, all of that.
whatever.
Yep.
Mr.
Heartbreak
Main
Kid,
Event.
all of that. Mr. Main Event, yes.
The man was a superstar. He was
He
an
was.
excellent superstar.
Yes.
And it was just a joy to watch
It
him
was
wrestle.
it was a really good joy to watch him.
Retired, but I can understand.
I mean, but he retired with a name. Like,
yeah,
everybody
no,
knew
he's a
him.
Hall of Famer. A Hall of Famer. You know, and okay, now we mentioned that match. What about a Bret Hart and Ravishing Rick Rude?
I was thinking about that match. Oh man. I want you to answer that. You answer that first.
I like Ravishing Rick Rude. Rude Awakening, the man can wrestle, the man's technical, good wrestler, but I will have to say Bret Hart. I would have to say Bret Hart. Bret Hart, you know, the man is the
Bret
best
Hart
there is,
was
the
a
best there
technical
was
wrestler
ever.
too. He
You know,
was.
and Michael Robinson
Yes.
says Ravishing Rick Rude. You know, I'm sorry, I go. For
I gotta
Bret.
go for Bret
He
too.
was a
Yeah,
great technical
Bret
wrestler.
was
He
an
took on the
amazing.
greats like Owen Hart, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Mr. Perfect. You know what I mean? It was good. It was good.
His finisher move said it all. That crap
Sharpshooter,
hurts.
you know
The
what I mean?
sharpshooter.
He took on a lot of greats. You know,
Yes,
Chris Jericho.
he did.
He took on all these guys.
Yes.
It was. Excuse me. It was
tough
to,
it was tough
to see his career end the way it did, you know. Excuse me. Brian says Bret, he is very technical, and I don't feel Rude would have been the type to not put over that by Bret. No, absolutely. Ravishing Rick Rude did have that attitude for not doing business the right way. You know, man he was great in the ring, but he was little trouble doing business. You know, but. You're absolutely right. That's what I said. Bret Hart. I'm old school. Bret Hart to the fullest. So, but Jaden, what do you think out of these 8 superstars? Can you give us at least 2 off the top of your head, 2 dream matches out of this list here?
2
with
dream
guys
matches
from today.
Okay. Well, guys from today.
Yep.
I gave you one earlier. Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins. I feel like that'll be a dream match. And I think it doesn't matter. Like, just any person.
Any 2 that you think it will be a dream match.
Oh man, that's a little hard. My second one is a little hard. I say Macho Man and CM Punk. I would like to see Macho. No, not Macho Man. I'm sorry, Mr. Perfect and CM Punk. Sorry, I would like to see those 2 go against each other. I would like to see those 2.
I would say no to that.
Why not?
Because it's 2 totally different styles.
I mean, but that's what makes it interesting, though. That's what makes it interesting.
It does. You know, it's definitely 2 different styles when it comes to something like that.
That's something
that's fine.
Because that's something like an Undertaker and a Shawn Michaels type match.
Well, that's true.
That would be something like that. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Undertaker, yes, he can move.
The man can move like he's a lightweight.
He can move too, but just like I said, big man versus small man. That's like a Dave and Goliath type match, It's like, it would be like, if that match was to ever happen, I feel like that would be like a type of passing of the torch match. But yeah, I feel like that would be a good match.
Brian said Jake the Snake versus CM Punk.
that would be
pretty cool.
That would be.
Well, I would have to say I can actually put Mr. Perfect against Eddie Guerrero.
Ooh, yeah, Eddie Guerrero. Yes.
And I can say I can put Shawn Michaels up against AJ Styles. I would pay to see
I got another
matches.
one. I would like to see Shawn Michaels.
Because I didn't pick Bret because to me,
didn't they already fight once?
no, they fought.
Shawn and Bret.
To me, I think Shawn Michaels is the better athlete.
I agree.
Not technical wise.
Technical Bret.
Not
yes.
messing with Bret Hart.
No.
But performance wise,
Shawn Michaels.
definitely
Yes. Shawn Michaels takes
I'm
it
sorry,
all.
he takes
Yes,
the cake.
he takes it.
You know what I mean?
I got another match, Dad.
Sure, go
What
ahead.
about Chris Benoit against Shawn Michaels?
Well, those two fought before.
Oh, have
Yeah,
they?
they fought
Oh,
before.
okay. Well, then I
Christopher
guess it
Brown
happened.
says, me, I'd want HBK versus Ziggler.
Ziggler.
Absolutely. Brian Montalvo says Benoit versus Styles. Of course. Two Intercontinental champions. You know, it's like, ugh. This list is like, when you two, like we mentioned, when you talk about Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, Mr. Perfect, Ravishing Rick Rude, Honky Tonk Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart.
Right.
These are all old school guys. These are all major superstars that pretty much they all in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Each and every one of them are in the Hall of Fame. You know, and it's like, excuse me, what do you do with this? Like,
right.
What if these guys were ever to fight each other in one single match?
That would.
Who would win?
Man.
Like, I don't understand. Like, you think about that. You think about these dream matches.
That would be a crazy match, though. What if you were to put all 8 of those men, or hold on, 1, 2, 8. Yes, 8. I kind of right. Okay, 8. What if you were to put all 8 of those men in a match? Who do you think would win? You put all 8 of, and you gotta pick one person. Who you think?
Who would be your pick?
I don't know yet. I have no idea.
Okay.
You know what? I gotta give it to Shawn Michaels.
Ugh.
I gotta give it to Shawn Michaels.
I gotta
give it to Shawn.
Say that.
Shawn Michaels, when it comes to matches like that, Shawn Michaels is a survivor. And it's a survivor. Like, you know, like just think back to the Royal Rumble where you thought it was all hope done for him, and then he just came back out of nowhere.
Interesting match. Mike said
Macho Man versus Steve Austin. Oh,
excellent.
that would, yeah.
I would actually pay to see
that does sound like a good match.
Michael Robinson says Chris Benoit against Roman Reigns. That would be a hell of a match. Two Wolverines like that. Hell yeah.
Yes.
But that match is pretty interesting. Macho Man against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, that would
You got the
be a
Macho
good
Man's
match.
craziness. The
Macho Man is strong.
And then you got Stone Cold. Oh, hell yeah. So that would be the match, like, just off the hook. So, but
right.
My son asked the question, guys. Who do you think, if this match ever would have happened in an 8-man elimination intercontinental title match, who would win? Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, Mr. Perfect, Ravishing Rick Rude, Honky Tonk Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart. We gave our answer. It was Shawn Michaels all the way. Give us
now
your
answer.
answer.
Give an answer.
Thanks, Brian. Enjoy your day at work, brother. Be safe out there in New York, okay?
Yep.
Okay, Christopher Brown will give it to Shawn Michaels too. Michael Larkin says Benoit versus Danny Bryan submission specialist. Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely. But out of that match,
who do you think?
Win?
Yeah, who you guys gotta get? Who you guys give it to?
Like it's.
Okay, so there's 3 picks on Shawn Michaels right now. Let's see if anyone thinks different.
Well, it's when you got all these legends, it's
crazy.
Hard.
It is.
It's hard to choose, but I choose Shawn Michaels because of performance.
Yes.
Of what he can do. He can stick with the best of them. He could do whatever. He's fought greats like Bret Hart, Undertaker, Diesel.
But do you really think Bret Hart can move as fast as Shawn Michaels can?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He can do.
Someone said Mr. Perfect.
Okay, so
that was my second pick. I feel like if Shawn Michaels wouldn't have won it, then
Michael Larkin goes with Shawn
I'll go
Michaels.
with Shawn.
It's interesting. Irfan goes with Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, yep.
And we Michael Larkin, he's a gentleman that does this podcast of Max Wrestling on Facebook as well. You guys should check him out. Does great work, and he'll continue to do great work with Dazzy Lee in his show. So back to our topic here. It's hard, man.
It is really
hard. It's
hard.
so hard. Like, I look at these guys, and I can actually sit down, Jaden, and watch the network, and I can watch these superstars in action.
Yes, I can.
To see a Ricky Steamboat
I can enjoy
match,
watching all of their old matches again.
Of course, because it's an excellent match.
Yeah, it's all
match, and we enjoy it. We enjoy it for the love of the sport.
Yes.
But we're gonna give you guys a quick chance to answer this question about this match, but we're also gonna give you one more question. Give us your best and worst Intercontinental Champion. Me and Jaden already had said it, and we would like for you guys to say it. Who was the best and worst Intercontinental Champion? You're welcome, Michael. Thank you. You know, it's just crazy. Like,
It is.
and you know what? I love wrestling, but I don't like the way wrestling is right now with no
I
fans.
don't. Yeah, no.
It's like a 1-2 punch. You know, the fans
Right.
and the
Yeah.
rest of the equals
That's what I'm
adrenaline.
saying. Like that's what makes wrestling
They
wrestling.
should just postpone wrestling altogether.
They might as well. Like it's not fun without any fans in the arena.
No.
Like it's just quiet.
Absolutely not.
It's pure quietness. All you hear is a theme song and people wrestling. It's not fun.
You don't hear crowd. You don't hear crowd.
You don't hear a crowd. You don't hear anybody, chanting, like boo. Yeah.
Well, Brian, Christopher Brown says his best, Chris Jericho. His worst, Corbin. Of course, Corbin was the worst.
He was. Oh my God. That had me so mad. When I seen that man was intercontinental title, I wanted to stop watching WWE. Like I was like, oh my God. I was like, what are these people doing? I was like, these people are crazy. Cause there's no way in mind that they will give someone like Baron Corbin. I'm not trying to take nothing away from him, because he is a pretty good wrestler. But
many
still.
people believe to this day that Baron Corbin is the best heel in the business.
He is a good heel.
He's a
Though
good
he
heel.
is a really good heel. I don't think he's the best in the business,
best
though.
in the business right
but
now,
he is a good heel.
He is a good heel. And Michael Robinson says Baron Corbin. Like,
I mean, everybody has their own opinion. That we can't say anything about it.
of course, that's what I'm saying. It is what it is. Michael Robinson says, remember when he had the Money in the Bank
and lost it in like 2 seconds?
Christopher Brown says,
man.
MJF is a better heel than Corbin is. Exactly. Yeah, MJF is from AEW, which is an excellent superstar as well. So, this is it, Jay. We're pretty much done.
We're wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up. Guys, we appreciate you always watching. As we mentioned, share our live video around Facebook. Get people talking wrestling with us. If they love wrestling, they can conversate with us, and we can all have fun and talking about it and joke around. Excuse me. A little under the weather, I'm sorry. Please be safe out there with this virus.
Remember, wash your hands.
Wash your hands all the time. Don't touch your face. Don't be too close. Me and my son are close, but my son has been isolated, so he's good. And Michael Robinson, you're right. AEW is hot right now.
It's hot right now.
They with Brody Lee debuting and Matt Hardy, they just stepped it up.
Yes,
You know what
they
I mean?
did.
So, but guys, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Follow us at Evolution of Pro Wrestling at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got all our greatest episodes, and especially our wrestling match we had a long time ago. And
still painful.
Yeah, I'm still
painful.
I still got a little bump in my elbow.
Still painful.
Also email us with any questions, concerns, or topics. We will take your topics at Evolution of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, do any of that. Shoot us a text. You want us to do a topic? We'll do a topic. That's what we're all about.
Hit us up, and you can email us at evolutionofprowrestling@gmail.com. Next week's topic. Many people just talk about this to this day, and this was a good friend of mine that gave me this topic. Besides Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, who in the early 90s was able to carry the WWE with the WWE Championship?
Yes.
So that's going to be the next week's topic. Robinson says, I want to see a match with you too.
He says he wants a rematch.
I'm trying, man. We'll see. But that's our topic for next week, fans. As always, thank you for joining us. For myself, Lewis, my co-host, Jay, and for my producer and director, always, my lovely wife, Yesenia. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next Friday. Before we go, one more comment. At Christopher Brown says, as much as I hate to say it, Lewis, the answer to next week's topic is Brett. Okay, we're gonna discuss that.
He already has an answer in mind.
Be prepared to tell us that. Well, next week at 8:30 sharp. We'll see you next week. Have a good night, fans. We'll see you then.